Hey, everybody. For this week's podcast, I sat down with an old friend from high school. Last week was a friend from college, and this week we're taking it back even further. I'm going to laugh if next week ends up being a person from elementary school. No plans for that, but that'd be funny, right? Anyways, it was a great chat. We got into a lot of interesting topics. I actually learned a lot of new things about him, despite how long ago we met. He's a good dude with a lot of interesting life experience to share with us. So, with that, I hope you enjoy this conversation I had with my friend Duane Bugg.
On the mic with Courtney the God. Little C Money stacks. Straight up.
That's hilarious.
Just chilling doing puppy stuff.
He's chilling. He usually sits in my lap during the podcasts here.
Nice.
Because he's in that. Well, it's funny because he sits on my lap and then he stares at the person I'm talking to.
Well, it's got to keep an eye on him.
He's like,
Make sure they're not doing anything funny with their hands.
he's all about making people uncomfortable.
It's that eye contact.
That's what he does in his life.
It is 20 minutes of uninterrupted eye contact. That's something that a lot of relationships would kill for.
So true. Don't we need more of it?
Right.
Like nice, comfortable eye contact? Because there's like weird eye contact too.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure your puppy has weird eye contact.
I know. He doesn't blink. It's in the blinking. It's in the blinking.
Is that what it is?
Have you ever talked to somebody and you just notice that they don't blink enough or they blink at the wrong times? It's almost subconscious. Seriously. We're like aware of the blinking patterns of another person when we're talking to them.
I don't think I've actually experienced that.
I've
I've only seen that in like movies and stuff like that. So I can only imagine what a weird blinker.
Yes, or somebody that they talk to you and their eyes are just wide open like this the whole time, and it's just odd because you're like, what?
I've gotten that. I have gotten that. I think what? I think we had a teacher like that at
Did
High
we?
Tech High. Yeah, I think he was an engineering teacher or something like that. But he was super cool. But
Super
he didn't.
cool, but no blinking.
Yeah, he was super cool though, and I remember it kind of threw me off in my presentation. I was like, you're not blinking. Am I messing up? He's like, I don't like presentations. I just already have anxiety about being up in front of people, and you're not blinking.
Yeah, we went to a weird high school.
Yes.
Remember our presentations of learning?
Yeah, our millions of presentations of learning.
Our POLs, if you will.
Yes, until I think I ended up stopping for a while. I think I had like a solid year where I actually didn't do much. It
Really?
was great. Yeah, well, so I had Jeff Robin as my advisor, so that should be
Jeff Robbins, the painting
guy.
The painting guy.
So that's
I learned
number
much
one.
from him.
Yeah, right. That's where we spent a lot of time together. Was in the painting room. It was like I was in his advisory, and I think I was a TA for part of the time, and I had his class for like two classes.
Our school didn't make sense when I look back at things like that.
No, it didn't. It was really weird. So it's like there was a little bit of time I remember I would show up to school an hour late every day, and I would leave at least an hour and a half early because I would meet up with another friend of mine and we would watch Passions. Just like every day.
Dude, Passions.
Yeah. It was the
I'm
one
not
with
much
the
of a
witch.
soap opera person, but
And
I
the-
feel like I watched that.
Yeah, well, it got pretty famous, especially in San Diego, because I'm pretty sure the guy that was playing like the possessed mannequin, well, he ended up passing away, I want to say in San Diego. Like he was involved in some kind of accident and they thought he was a child, so they took him to Children's Hospital over in Kearney.
Wait, this is
Yeah.
all coming back to me.
Yeah,
I have
it
a
was
terrible
crazy.
memory.
Yeah, my mom used to work at Children's, so she's like, "Do you know about Passions?" I'm like, "Well, I've heard of it. I don't want to tell my mom like I'm ditching school to go watch Passions."
Yeah, that's an interesting conversation, isn't it? That's crazy.
Yeah,
Wow.
super crazy.
That's
super,
really
super
interesting.
crazy. Yeah, hospitals are nuts. Saw a lot of things growing up in there. Like
Oh, so you hung out there?
Yeah, so it was my stepdad was in the Navy. Mom was in the worked in a hospital, so she'd work like 12-hour shifts sometimes. So we'd either have to hang out with her in the morning before she'd take us to school, or she'd have to leave, come pick us up from school, and then we're hanging out. And it was weird because my mom worked in, first it was the psych ward of this place called Oakland Hospital. It's in the middle of Oakland. Anybody from Oakland knows it. Anybody that knows Tupac knows it, because all the famous people that have been shot in Oakland usually go to Oakland. And there used to be a psychiatric ward, and my mom worked in the psychiatric ward, so that's where I started. And then she ended up working her way up, and she ended up in the emergency room. So then we were hanging out in the ER after school. So, little kids hanging out in the ER in the middle of Oakland. And this isn't like nice Oakland. Like it's still kind of ghetto now, but it definitely was a lot rougher back then. And then she was in the ICU. So it's like you see people coming in with like gunshot wounds. And this one guy came in. I remember the first time I saw it was called like necrophilia fasciitis or something like that, because some guy had been shooting up like black tar heroin into the same arm like forever.
Oh,
So his whole arm was just like this bruised black shiny color, and there was almost no muscle mass like under it. Like the doctor was pushing it with the thing and there's just nothing there because all the drugs had just eaten away at everything.
God, that's terrifying.
Yeah, I think I was in like the third grade maybe when I saw that, something like that, like third or fourth grade.
Ooh,
Yeah,
so you saw crazy things young.
young, that's Oakland.
I don't know anything about Oakland. I've never been there.
Yeah, well, it's so Oakland is one of those places where if you're from the Bay Area, it's cool. If you're not, there's parts you shouldn't go. Even if you are from there, there's still parts you shouldn't go, type of thing, because it got kind of territorial. But people get shot all the time. There's hypodermic needles at the park that we used to try and go play at and stuff like that.
God.
They ended up closing it down.
So gross.
Yeah, I remember when they closed it down, it was some guys did a drive-by. This is maybe 2 blocks away from my grandmother's house where I spent a lot of my time over in it was like a little, used to be a suburb of kind of Oakland, but it's called Sobrante Park now. It's people know it as Sobrante Park, like don't go there because there's 2 roads in, 2 roads out type of thing.
Mm.
But so there's this park, they nicknamed it Heroin Park. And these guys were hanging out. Some guys from across town come up, drive by, kill 2 guys. So that happens, I want to say, on a Friday. Very next week, they're having, the little get together thing, like the memorial service for them. They didn't get everybody, come back, drive by again, get 3 more guys. After that, the city is like, you know what, we're done, and finally just closed down the park. Like they ended up putting a roundabout in the center because our street used to branch out into 3 main streets. People used to do all the little sideshows like you see on the E40 videos and stuff like that. They used to do that stuff there, like doing donuts and things. So that was pretty cool. They didn't like us playing out front because I remember one day a guy got in an accident. We just see a hubcap come come down the street in front of my grandmother's house. She's like, no,
Yeah.
no. But no, but because it's an older neighborhood, like a lot of the people there know each other type of thing. So where it is kind of hood, walking down the street, if you know the neighborhood isn't really that bad type of thing.
Sure. So there's just areas that you have to
Yeah,
be
it's just areas. And if you're from there, you kind of know which areas you shouldn't be in. And if you're wearing certain colors, you shouldn't be in certain areas. And don't wear your sleeve up one side. It's
That's
weird.
so crazy. There's too many rules.
There is a lot of rules, and people don't understand that about actual crime and gangs. There are so many rules. It's so many rules.
Yeah.
It's easier just to get a full-time job, to be honest. It's like, to be dead honest, people that are out there selling drugs, they're usually working at least 16 hours a day type of thing. They don't get to leave their house a lot because you have to stay close to the product. So it's like, man, you're not making that much money. You're paying all this overhead. You can get jacked at any time. You might as well just get a job. Like you might as well just get a job, get some sleep at night.
Just the added stress of all of that stuff.
Like
I don't really.
People calling you at all hours, and you have to worry about the cops coming in. So your friends have to hang out for a little bit because you can't have people going in and out. Otherwise, it looks suspicious and it's crazy.
How do people end up in these mindsets? Is it just like your world too small and you don't feel like you have other opportunities? Is it just because it's just, you're surrounded by it? Like
I don't know. It's like, so for example, I got a buddy that kind of got me in some of the stuff, right? For a little bit of the time. And it was more of I didn't know anybody, but he knew somebody that knew somebody type of thing. And it was, hey, do you want to come roll with me to do this type of thing? And like, I don't really have that many old friends. Like most of my friends stop around the 8th grade or so. And there's maybe 2 or 3 that go beyond that. And so this is one of my older friends. And I was like, yeah, sure, why not? So we go do the stuff that he needs to do, come back, cool, here's your cut. Now I have a cool couple $100 in my pocket for not really doing much. Like I just had to sit in a car.
Sure.
It was like, and when you're rolling around in high school, not really making much money type of thing. And it's like, My parents were gone at the time. I think you might have remembered, like, my mom moved back up to the Bay Area.
Mm-hmm.
Stepdad was still in the Navy, so I was living at home by myself from about 16 and change or so till
Really?
almost graduation.
Did
Yeah.
I know that?
Yeah, not a lot of people knew. Not a lot
Yeah,
of
I don't
people
think I
knew.
didn't realize that.
Well, a lot of people would have thrown a house party at that point. And so,
That's what happens,
yeah, it
right? Your
was like,
parents
and
aren't home.
I knew the type of company that I hung out with. So it was like, not a lot of people actually knew where I lived at,
Yeah.
but yeah, so you're in high school. Now all you have to do is show up, let somebody put something in the trunk of your car, go to this place, let somebody take something out the trunk of your car. Here's some money, you bring it back, they give you a cut, you go about your day, type of thing.
Yeah. So it's just real easy.
Yeah, so it gets real easy, but so like it could get real bad at the same time. So like at any time you
Real
can
easy in
get
the moment, real difficult
right. Like
circumstances.
getting stopped and getting just kind of jacked is a normal thing.
Mm.
That's a hazard. It's a work hazard at that
Ooh.
point. And like for a little bit, I remember I used to keep a bulletproof vest in my trunk. Like for a little bit, there was a time where I never knew. It was like I might need to leave and go do something to where there was a bulletproof vest in my trunk. It's crazy times. Crazy times.
It's scary.
I know, right?
But it's kind of weird. It seems like people get adapted to that.
Yeah,
Adapted
well,
in some way because you're able to do it.
it was crazy.
Yeah.
Like eventually you have to kind of make a decision on what you're going to keep doing type of thing. And eventually I kind of had to hit a tipping point. It had went on too long. It was too many years. Like I couldn't have like a real relationship with anybody type of thing because it was always getting in the way. And like you kind of know I was hopping back and forth between people for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And the drinking was really bad and I couldn't sleep and things like that. Yeah, it was a tipping point. It was like, you know what? I want to
Yeah.
be able to sleep. I want to be able to go to sleep at night.
Sure.
Like I
Have
want
a little peace.
right, like I
How
want
do
to
you have
not worry
peace when that's
about
what you're?
somebody wondering if something is in my trunk tonight type of thing.
Yeah.
Like I think you were
Absolutely.
actually there one night when somebody stole stuff out of my car.
No way.
Yeah,
Why
we
do I have no
we
memories?
were
What's
at
wrong
the
with me?
we were at the bar. We were at Bar West with Russell, and he parked next to
Bar
me, and they stole
West.
everything out of my trunk. And I came back in,
Wait,
was like, and I think Isaac was there too.
was Bar West in PB?
Yeah, it was off of Hornblende.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah, so it was right over
Because I remember
there.
that night now.
And they took everything out of my trunk, and I remember just going, I'm gonna worry about this tomorrow. Came back in. I'm pretty sure I bought everybody a round of shots that we were there. It was just like, let's just keep doing it. Like,
How
just
did they know to
straight up.
steal stuff out of your trunk?
You just know people. That's the
Gosh,
thing.
I'm
Like
so
that's
innocent. I didn't know.
like,
I didn't know any of that was
like
happening.
either somebody followed me or somebody just knew like who I was, type of thing. But we were in
Dang.
Bar West a lot, so that makes sense.
Oh, okay. So
Like
it was a
yeah,
regular
like I
spot.
was in Bar West pretty much every Friday. I was a raging
Oh,
alcoholic at the time, and they had happy hour for 2 hours, like every Friday. So it's like,
yeah.
yeah, I'll come drink some champagne. I'll get shamped out.
I'll get shamed out.
I'll get shamped out.
I
I'll
like
get
that.
white girl wasted. I like to have fun. It's whatever.
That's so crazy.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah, no, it was, yeah, it's weird. Like, not a lot of people quite like knew everything that was going on at the time because I kind of kept it to myself because you don't want to get people involved in stuff that's not actually involved in anything type
Right.
of thing. So,
That makes sense. How did you end up at High Tech High?
so I ended up high tech high. I was down here
You're
for
like a nerd school.
yeah, so I was here for all of 8th grade, and high tech high went like heavily off your 8th grade kind of scores type of thing. Um, and I went to Farb for 8th grade over in Tierra Santa. So in the 7th grade, I remember I told my mom, I was like, I want an earring. My mom's like, no. She was kind of one of those like, no, only gay guys have an earring type of thing. I was like,
Okay.
well, that's cool, whatever. I still want an earring type
Yeah.
of thing. Like, yeah, I'm trying to flex. Like Michael Jordan got one, Barry Bonds got one. I'm trying to be juiced up and get an earring, right?
That was popular for a
Right,
while there.
yeah, right. And so it was like, I'm gonna get an earring. I just wanted one at the time. I was like, I just want one earring. So my mom goes, all right, I'll make you a deal. You get straight A's through the 8th grade, I'll get you an earring. Fine. straight A's. Ended up getting Farb's stupid little like valedictorian thing that year for like, yeah, this guy did great. Like, whatever, give me my earring. Like, it was like the next day after that 8th grade graduation, we went to Claire's and got me my earring type of thing.
That's
It was like,
hilarious. And I
yeah,
don't know
so
anybody that didn't get an earring from Claire's.
yeah, it was
That's
that's
where
where
I got mine.
Claire's was the spot.
I
But
got the 3 in one day.
you see, I wasn't that brave. I
Oh yeah.
wasn't
Well, I
that
got the
brave.
bottom ones when I was a baby, and then I got the second row, and then the top cartilage piercing all in one day. And I had to
Yes.
fight for that.
Yeah, I
At
had to fight
Claire's.
for one. I
And who
didn't
are
get my
those? Like,
second one until I was 18.
are those like 16-year-olds piercing our ears? Who are these people working at Claire's?
Seriously. It
Other
was like,
children.
it was like, no, you're right. Children touching children.
That's when I look back on
You're
it.
right.
It's
No,
crazy.
seriously, but yeah, so I got good grades because of that, and the school ended up coming to our school, and the guidance counselor was good friends with my mom and was like, yeah, he should try and get into this school, because at the time I was in engineering and stuff like that, and I was kind of playing sports and kind of playing the field, because at that time I was very into sports type of thing. Like, this is still fresh out of the Bay Area. Like, I don't have a lot of friends. I moved around a lot being a military brat. Like, I still don't have like a lot of core set of friends. So going to High Tech High versus going to Sarah really didn't matter left or right for me at the end of the day. So it's like, honestly, I've only known these guys for like a year, whatever. Like, that's about the span that I've known people
Yeah.
type of thing. And still rough around the edges, like wasn't listening to rock music yet. My mom's like, look, the only way, like, this is kind of the speech you get when you're in the hood. It's like, the only way you're really going to make it out and get to college is on some sort of scholarship. Like, it's either going to be sports or you're going to have to work twice as hard as every other white person out there. It
Yeah.
was like verbatim what I grew up with from my earliest memories. You're a black guy, you got to work twice as hard as the next white dude. So it was, all right, I'll play sports and I'll kind of mess around with engineering on the side type of thing. So I tried to get into High Tech High. High Tech High was actually cool about letting me still play sports while going to High Tech High. And so they were like, yeah, you can just leave and go play. I was like, tight, cool. Busted my butt off to get in because my mom really wanted me to go. Like I said, I didn't really care either way, but mom's really wanted me to go. So I got in. And after the first year, I almost left, actually. Like, I signed up for Sarah again, but I also had an offer from uni. I think they're called something else now, but it was a uni high school.
All boys school.
Yeah, they were offering me a ride for playing football, and Bishops was offering me a ride to play football. And so yeah, so I was signed up essentially for Sarah, and I remember I was talking to Cindy Kim kind of back and forth. She's like, "You coming back? You coming back?" I was like, "I don't know. Like, I don't know." It's like the school's weird. They got us checking in with like a finger scan. Like,
We
like,
did, dude.
like,
We
it
were
was
living in the
weird.
future, and we didn't even fully realize it. We had
Yeah,
we had
I was
fingerprint
nervous.
scanners to check into school.
Yeah, it was a 3 or 4 digit pin, and then you had to put your thumb, and that's how we did
Yeah.
attendance. And I think they realized we need to do this more than once a day, because we started all just doing the attendance in the morning and leaving. Like, so we'd be deucing out. It's like, we have perfect attendance in the morning, and 25% of the students are here in the afternoon.
Dang, that's true, huh?
Yeah.
We had a weird schedule though.
Yeah.
The 3 hours of free time, and then like a lunch, and then
Yeah.
like 2 classes, maybe
Something
2
like
or 3
that.
classes.
And we started super late, so we weren't getting out to like 3 something, like 3:30, 4 o'clock, something like that.
Yeah,
It sucked.
it was. It
It sucked.
was a very different kind of school. It was a very different kind of school.
It sucked.
So, you didn't like it?
No, it was a really good school. I just hated getting out that late, to be honest. Because I took the bus
Oh,
until I could drive.
It felt like when everybody turned 16, their parents all gave them cars because we didn't have we didn't have any like buses to bring us into school
No.
or anything like that, and our parents didn't want to drive us anymore.
Exactly.
So I felt like everybody had a vehicle.
Yeah,
that
but it
point.
was more like, yeah, you get a job so you can pay for it type of
Mhm.
thing.
Mhm. When I was 16, all my money went to video games, concerts, and putting gas in my car.
Yeah, see, that was 16. I had just started my first like legit job working at that seafood restaurant. But by then I was already kind of doing the stuff with my friend. And it's funny, it's like it's freaking hilarious to this day. But nobody realized, like, I'm getting paid essentially minimum wage at this job in high school, but I have like $5,000 worth of equipment in my trunk. Like it was like nobody
Yeah.
kind of put two and two together. It was
No.
like nobody's questioning where. I was like, honestly, nobody just really cares. I was like, that's a testament to how much people really don't care about your life. But
Nobody's paying attention to
it was
me.
like nobody's paying attention to me. It was
Yeah,
like,
that's
but
so
no,
weird.
that's kind of something that I learned, like going from school to school to school, is that a lot of people really don't pay attention to what's going on in other people's lives. Like they're there, they're friends, or things like that, but at the end of the day, you're still going to miss a lot because they're not really there paying constant attention to your life. So you can get away with a lot of things just by doing the normal day-to-day stuff type of thing,
Yeah.
just
A lot of
without
people don't
anybody
ask
knowing.
questions.
Exactly.
They don't
Or they're
ask you.
just too like, I don't really want to.
We gotta ask more questions. I mean, I have to bring it up now because you told me before we started recording that you got shot. What? Twice?
So
How?
the first time was pure stupidity. That was I remember I was super young and we had found a freaking bulletproof vest. And some of my buddies used to carry around guns and stuff because some of my friends were older, kind of growing up and things like that. Because I used to hang out with that type of crowd, so they were older and had access to different things. So they had like this little freaking little mini revolver. And I'm like, all right, whatever. I'll strap it on. Let's do it. Like, let's do it. Freaking, they pull that damn trigger. I want to tell you that was one of the most excruciating fucking pains I've ever felt in my life. It ended up cracking one of my damn ribs, and I had like a crazy bruise. And I'm like 2 shades lighter than Amistad black, so to even have like a full on like to even have a full on bruise is like amazing. and, and I remember I remember I was still living at home too. My mom saw it. She's like, "What's going on?" I was like, "Oh, I was wrestling and da 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 da." Like I had to come up with this crazy lie for it. And I could barely breathe. I could like I was jacked up for I want to say for a couple months, like before I was fully like back to where I needed to be. But yeah, that was stupid. That
That's
was
crazy.
so stupid.
Children and guns.
Yeah, that was the first time. The second time was on one of the runs, and it was a botched run, and I was running, and I got hit while I was running. But you know, we're good. We're good.
Oh
We're good. We're good.
you have an amazing outlook on all of that part of your life.
There was a time where it was rough, but I think I have this outlook on life just because of the friends that I kind of keep, type of thing. Like a lot of people trust me with their deepest, darkest secrets.
Because you keep it real.
I keep it real. Like, and honestly, I try when I talk to people, like I try and give at least a piece of myself. I don't know if they just pick up on me being genuine about it or what, but like I give a little piece and I tend to get a lot back. But
Yeah.
luckily, I'm a lockbox, so you know that's cool. But it's kind of a weird thing. So when you have people kind of complaining about stuff or like this happened to me or this happened to me, but you have all these people that are kind of telling me these things, it's like, no, I know so many people that are in this situation or this situation. It's like, no, that's not uncommon or at all, type of thing. Or like I have a ton of female friends, so it's always like I feel super awkward about blah 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 blah. I was like, well, I can tell you as a dudes number one don't care about any of that. Like we have conversations about it all the time. Most dudes don't care about a lot of the things that females care about, especially when it comes to appearance. Like I care about personality and things like that. Like I want to know kind of more about you and not so much what you look like. And I told people, it was like, yeah, you know, I used to have this big crush on Courtney when I was in high school and da 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 a little bit after. I was like, it was super crazy. And they were like, well, you know, she's kind of banging. Like, what do you expect? And I was like, nah, man, like, I'm talking about like before she was doing her eyebrows, like when you were rocking like sweatpants and a hoodie to school and stuff like that. Like you were channeling your inner Limp Biscuit, like just straight up. Like, don't bother me because I'm rocking my NSYNC CD right now, and there's nothing you can relate to me about.
Absolutely.
Like you were giving me the time of day. Like freshman year, sophomore year, I might as well been a leper. Like just straight up those years. I was like, all right.
I think I was in my own zone.
You know what? Honestly, that was probably the best decision you ever made.
Yeah.
Like, it was a good decision. Like after that, I was like, man, I need to reevaluate how I'm going about things. And I remember that's about when I actually started changing up stuff. Was because I
Really?
was like, finally, there's this freaking chick that's stopping me from getting what I actually want for once. Because you were actually, I want to say, probably the first and only female that I've actually hit on that I haven't been able to get whatever I wanted, type of thing. Like whatever I was looking
Whoa,
for,
interesting.
right. So it's
I
funny,
didn't know
Isaac.
that.
Yeah, it's funny. Isaac calls you the from God, what is that movie? Hot Tub Time Machine. Says Great White Buffalo. Like Great White Buffalo. I'm like, man, shut up. It's so freaking. So that was one of the things. Was like, all
Oh my
right,
gosh.
I can't come out of here like I'm just straight out of Oakland. Like I can't do that. I'm in San Diego now. Like what worked up there is not going to work down here, type of thing.
Yeah, wow.
This is going to work on this is going to work on somebody of this stature, type of thing, but honestly, compared to a lot of the girls that we were going to school with, like your intellectual level was a little bit higher. Definitely was higher than mine because I was catching up with everybody, type
Dang.
of thing.
Well,
But
thank you. I didn't.
hey, I'm just saying, you're like the most popular person in freaking school.
I was not.
Okay, prom queen.
Yeah, but that's different. That's different. I don't know. I was really surprised by that.
I was so happy that I won prom king and I wasn't runner up because the runner up prom queen was a dude and I can't remember his name. And I was like, I'm so happy that I don't have to dance with him. Like, I think it was Andrew, I think was the runner up. And I remember I won by one vote and I was cussing out my date at the time because
Mhm.
she didn't actually vote. And I was like, what if I would have lost by one vote? She's like,
So it would
yeah,
have been
but
your fault.
yeah, she's like, but you won. So it's like, whatever. Like,
Oh
I was like,
man.
oh man, prom.
The runner up was a man. That's
Yeah,
great.
well, it was it was such a small school by that time. It didn't matter. Everybody knew everybody.
Yeah, we
Everybody
did.
had dated everybody by that time. Everybody's still dating everybody.
Did I date
It's so
anybody in high
weird.
school?
I
I don't
don't
think I
think
did.
so.
I
I
didn't
don't
date
think you
anybody in
did.
high school.
No, not like serious.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
it's
No,
super
well, your
weird.
dad used to roll up mean mugging everybody. Just
That
straight up.
probably doesn't help, does it?
Man, I remember so many times he just stared me down. And I was just like, "What's up?" Like, we're not gonna square off with your dad, but I'm not gonna be intimidated.
That's crazy. That's
Yeah,
interesting that I was even a part of that change of your viewpoint. That's so
yeah,
interesting.
yeah. It was super crazy. Like that was like change number one. I play a lot of sports, so I fell like a lot at things. Learning a sport, like
Yeah.
you play a couple instruments, so you kind of understand where it's that learning process. So you get used to failing a
Sure.
lot. So it's like once you fail, you kind of have to step back and realize, like, okay, what the heck are you doing wrong,
Yeah.
type of thing,
Yeah.
and kind of goes in life, work, whatever. It's like you fail at something, don't quite give up. Just reevaluate, look at it, come back again.
Yeah.
It was weird. It was a weird time.
That's awesome.
It
I'm
was a
glad
weird
we've
time.
become friends since then. That's so
Yeah,
nice.
yeah,
That's so nice.
yeah. We're good. We're good.
That's
I know, well,
hilarious.
I know. Well, I don't know what it was. Like, I still remember. Like, we've always been kind of cool, like super
Yeah.
cool, cordial, and things like that. But I think, yeah, I remember the time we actually like really started becoming close was I think something happened with like a breakup or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I remember I got a phone call and I like never got phone calls from you. So I was like, all right, I was in class. I was like, I gotta get out. Like, I gotta leave real quick. Like, it was like, you know
She
what I
never
mean?
calls me.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it was like she never calls me. It was like, all right, like,
Well, that's a testament to who you are because obviously I felt like I had
yeah,
somebody I could talk to.
yeah.
You know
That
what I'm
was
saying?
that was about the time. I think we kind of both went down a rabbit hole about that same time,
Oh,
actually.
really?
Yeah, I want to say yours was not quite as deep as mine. Like you got to the potion a little bit faster than I did, but it was cool.
What was
Like,
your rabbit hole? Like a relationship thing? Or
yeah, like at that time, there was a time where I actually got my stuff stolen. So you get stuff stolen and now you owe people. And that is one of the worst things that you can do is owe people because the people that you end up owing are people that you don't want to owe. And it's always interest. And I'm obviously doing this because I need the money and I'm never going to make enough money for it. Like it's basically worse than a credit card racket.
mm-hmm.
But, so you kind of have to keep doing odds and ends and things like that until you either pay it back in full on cash because they don't really take installments. It's like you either pay it back in full on cash or you kind of work it off type of thing. So it was kind of like dealing with relationships and like trying to get through life and dealing with that kind of all at the same time, where it was just too much. And like I have migraines and they were flaring up at the time too. It was like a perfect storm. Perfect storm. Just
Yeah.
gained a bunch of weight,
Yeah.
super crazy weight. It's one of those things where it's like I like to be there for the people that's in
Yeah.
my life type of thing. It's like whatever you need, just let me know. Doesn't matter what time.
Yeah. That's amazing.
Yeah,
That's
some of those
amazing.
people, not everybody. So
So-
if some of you people not listening, probably not. But
But there's
but
some.
yeah,
There's some.
there's definitely some that have called me type of thing, and
Yeah.
you being one of them. I have a lot of female friends. So I don't know if it's just me being that male they can kind of turn to when another male's being a jerk type of thing.
Yeah, I
which is
think-
kind of weird because I'm a
think
jerk
people-
most of the time. But
But people can sense, when other people are genuine.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
I think so.
And you have definitely been that.
I try.
You've definitely
I try.
been that. So you've been in a relationship now for a while.
Yes,
How did you guys meet?
we actually met. We met. All right, so there's
Like,
two.
let me go back
meetings-
in time.
There's two meetings. Sorry, there's two meeting stories for it. There's when she first met me, and then there's when I remember meeting her. So apparently, we met for the first time. I want to say a couple months earlier, maybe than I can remember. Where I went to, I don't know if you remember my buddy Marcus, but we went to my buddy Marcus's
remember the
house, and I was
name.
hanging out or something like that, and he has a bunch of female friends and stuff too, and she was one of the people there. He's always got some random female at his house type of thing. I honestly pay her no mind because this is high school, so I'm super promiscuous at this time. Like, just straight up, I won't even shy about it. Like,
Yeah.
she knows it's fine.
Yeah.
Like, super promiscuous. And so like the next time that I actually remember meeting up with her was Marcus calls me because she was having computer issues with like a desktop or a laptop or something like that. Being from High Tech High, we had a lot of computer issues, so they call us. So I was like, all right, like I'll come take a look. Like, is it your computer? He's like, no, it's my friend so and so and so. Like, I don't even remember the name. I just remember being super angry. And because I had to show up at some girl's house that I didn't want to. Like, I thought it was his computer, and I'm like, I'm super mad. I end up getting there. I can't fix the computer. Like, I remember looking at her. She was super dorky looking. Like, she had braces in. Like, I want to say she had glasses. I can't remember, but I know for like legit she had braces in. I was just like, dude, Marcus be hanging out with like these randos, like just straight up randos. Because like I said, like at the time I'm kind of everywhere. Like I'm down in TJ, I'm in PB and stuff like that. Like I'm kind of all over the place at the time. So like later down the line, Marcus ends up taking her to prom, which ended up being super weird because I was mad that Marcus was asking me for a favor type of thing. Like it's me just being patented jerky Duane, because I want to say I'm pretty sure I was on my way to a booty call. If we're being completely honest.
Let's be completely honest.
I remember I don't 100% remember who it was, but I definitely remember I was in a rush because I was like, bro, like you're messing me up right now type of thing. Like this is before smartphones and stuff like that. So it's like, I said I was on my way when I left the house. Like, I gotta go.
Right.
like type of thing. And yeah, like after that, she ended up hitting me up on AIM, I think it was, or
Dang.
something like that. And we kind of ended up dating for a bit. We broke up for a while. Then we dated for a bit. Then broke up for a while. Dated for a bit. So it's been off and on like forever type of thing. But most recently, it's been like 5 years. I don't know. Maybe not that long.
Either way, it's still impressive these days.
Yeah, it was kind of after I got my stuff together. Like once I shut down shop and like with all the stuff that was happening and things like that. And
Yeah.
so I like cut back on the drinking about then, and started going to the gym. Like I had to figure out all that stuff with the debt stuff, so I had to take care of all of that. So that was kind of like an ordeal in itself. And so basically we got through it. Through the good graces of her being super patient with me, and through the good graces of our friend Nikki just being right there with me like a trooper. Like she was to the point to where she wouldn't let me like be at home alone type of thing. So it's like, oh, you're at home, that's fine. I'll be there with you type of thing.
That's nice.
Yeah,
That's
so
nice.
it was like it was nice having somebody there because Like her, Nikki, Erica, like some people they kind of know. Like I've had some issues with some psych stuff,
Mm-hmm.
like in the past,
Yeah.
and it's like so they don't want to leave me alone too long, type of thing. Because along with the drinking was like prescription pills too. Like I was doing the mostest. Like I was looking to punch out early, and it just wasn't happening, type of thing.
Dang.
And yeah, I didn't want to take anybody with me, but I was
Right.
just like, whatever, man. Yeah, you want to go do this? Fine, sure. Yeah, like let's pop some pills and then go do some shots. Like, fine, whatever.
Yeah. So you
Like I
just didn't
don't.
care.
Yeah, it's like
Just
I
do
didn't.
whatever.
I didn't really care. I didn't really care.
Is that what kept you going back to her then too? Because there was a
Hey,
she obviously
well,
had a deep understanding and was and stuck with you through some stuff.
I don't know if it was because she stuck through with me through stuff. Because there was definitely like some things on her side that I didn't really like, and like she was kind of going through a growing process at the time and things like that. And it was about the same time that we kind of both were like, all right, we need to get our crap together, type of thing. And it wasn't until we kind of both got our crap together that we actually started like making this like an official type thing. And we just took it mad slow. And we were like, we're not gonna push it too much,
Yeah.
type of thing. Make our own rules.
That's important. And then I feel like taking it slow it gets underrated these days. Feels like everybody's in such a rush every
Yeah,
time I meet somebody, you know? And I'm
yeah.
like, why's everything gotta be so dang
It's like,
fast?
why are you single? How come you're not married? Why don't you have a kid? Like,
What's wrong with you?
like, really? Like, is that what I'm supposed to be doing with my life? Like, I'm supposed to just be getting married and having a kid?
Yeah.
Nah.
I don't I think we're officially kind of out of that time where we feel like we have to follow those tracks. At least on these in these coastal large cities,
You
maybe.
know, I
Maybe in the
feel like
Midwest and stuff,
that.
it's a little bit different still.
I
But
still get it from my mom.
do you?
Yeah, I got it. I got like a 20-minute lecture yesterday about it from my mom.
Yeah.
like back to grade school. She's sitting on her bed, and I'm like
Well, it probably makes you worse because you
crisscross
actually have a
applesauce.
girlfriend.
Yeah, but she freaking loves her too. Just super weird
That's
because they're
great.
like, my girlfriend's white and I'm black, so it's like the tale of two cities over there. It's like it's just straight up like you grew up in Mira Mesa, like San Diego, born and raised, and here comes Oakland. Like, you know what I mean?
That's hilarious.
It's straight up though. It's been interesting. It has been interesting with that.
That's super funny. What
Super.
advice do you have for people that want to maintain a strong relationship for a while?
Make your own rules. Just straight up, make your own rules. So I say like I ended up getting like a couple of those relationship books and things like that, self-help stuff, but
Mm-hmm.
when I was kind of going through them, I realized I was trying to change myself, which I didn't like, type of thing. Like I get compromise, I get, you want to be a better person for the other person type of thing. But I felt like I was trying to change myself on a fundamental level, which definitely wasn't me. So we kind of just had a conversation, like an honest conversation where I just laid it out and said, I know personally that I struggle with showing emotion for sure, hands down. Not to say that I don't have them, I just definitely struggle with it.
Yeah.
And was like, I may not pick up on emotional cues. I may not pick up on this. I may not even look like I'm reciprocating something or even listening to you, but I definitely am. It's just my personality, and I apologize. It's like I'm apologizing kind of ahead of time. And the thing I asked was, the only thing I asked is if there's something that I do or say or anything like that that either makes you upset, uncomfortable, or you need me to do, you just tell me outright. Kind of no passive aggressive anything, no pity pat, no, I'm going to have an attitude for half the day type of thing where,
You're asking for real communication.
right, where I've been in relationships where it's like, I don't know why you're so mad right now. Like you can tell me and maybe I'll get it, maybe I won't type of thing. But it's like, don't get mad at me for you not talking to me type of thing. Where if you tell me outright, like, hey, didn't I tell you to get the table or the plate off the table type of thing? Like, yeah, you did. Well, my friends came over and they saw the plate and now I look like trash. Like, then you can yell at me. Like the normal, you asked me to, I acknowledged it and I still didn't do it. Fine. I'm all for that. But it's like, just don't get mad off the little stuff. At the end of the day, it's like, what's your relationship worth?
It's like if you're gonna fight over something real.
Right. It's like, what's your red line type of thing? Like, what are you willing to lose on your front
Yeah.
to keep this person around?
You know what I also feel too is when you start getting into those arguments where they're like nothing arguments.
Yeah.
They're arguments over stupid, tiny,
Mm-hmm.
petty little things. That's like the first sign that there's something way bigger underlying.
Mm-hmm.
And you're avoiding that larger conversation. So now it's turned into a bunch of stupid, nitpicky, small things, right?
Right. Exactly. Like I can't speak for my girl, but I know there's like a couple things that she does that I don't really like type of thing. But I understand that they're so small. It's like, what's the point of me even doing it?
Yeah.
Like, what is it? It's because it's so stupid. Like toothpaste. I'm a big person where I like to put the toothpaste like back in the medicine cabinet in the specific holder for the toothpaste that I went out and got. Right. Like,
Right.
like this is what it's for. Like it's specifically for toothpaste.
Everything has its place.
Right. But whenever I use the toothpaste, I always grab the toothpaste off the counter. I go to work before her, so the toothpaste is always on the counter type of thing when I get to it. But it's like, man, those are one of those things where it's like, that drives me crazy. But at the end of the day, does toothpaste really matter?
Is this a big deal?
Like, am I really gonna harp on her about toothpaste? Like,
yeah.
Come on.
In general, like in life things, if we thought about that most of the time, we could save ourselves a lot of strife.
It's like this exactly. Like, come on.
Like, how big a deal is this?
It's toothpaste,
really?
Right? Like. I'm not gonna die. You know what I mean? Like, I don't.
Probably not.
Probably not.
That's
probably
a little bit of
not.
just like accepting the other person too, though, right?
Yeah.
It's like if you're in a relationship that's healthy and you have good communication, and it's not fully about just looks, obviously, because that's not healthy. It's just like, hey, I accept you for what you are, which will not be perfect.
Yeah. No, she's really bad about breaking things. So that's like a thing. That's a thing. She's so lucky she found like the world's most patient person. It's like, what are you gonna do? Like, it happens.
But what is it in the grand scheme of things?
Yeah, it was like, cool. It's hard to keep wine glasses. You know what I mean? Poor girl just broke 2 of our friend wine glasses like within 5 minutes. We were at their
of
house.
your friends in somebody's house?
At their house.
Dang.
All you hear is tsh. You hear girls giggling. 5 minutes later, tsh, girls giggling again.
That's
like,
so ridiculous. Here's another question.
What's up?
So I did a couple podcasts that was like guys asking women questions. And so I've been asking women now if they have guys questions.
Okay.
So I'll throw a couple of these at you.
Throw them at me.
Should a woman ask a guy where their relationship is going, or do you think that they should just kind of let that play out?
I think that's something you kind of need to feel out from the beginning. Because some people don't really know, like after that first few dates type of thing, if they actually want to be with somebody. Like they may have a weird thing that doesn't come out until date number 4, date number 5. Somebody can say, yeah, I want to get married and I want to have kids, but in 6 months, if it doesn't work out, now you're going to be upset because the person you wanted to have kids and get married to isn't you. So it's one of those where it's, if you could go without putting yourself in that situation, I would, because I'm much more of an organic person type of thing. Like, I think it's important at the beginning to set some boundaries and some ground rules and things like that as far as what you're expecting while the dating process is going on.
The biggest thing too is, like it's a casual like first date and you're chatting and everything's real light, but they'll drop that whole like, yeah, I'm just kind of dating around, not really looking for a relationship. It's real casual. They'll tell you, they will tell you. And I'm like, listen to that. That's truth. Yeah. They're not really looking for a relationship. They can treat you any type of good way and y'all can seem perfect and have so much fun.
I've noticed that a lot of people miss that.
That statement is truth. Why do men always seem to be drawn to dramatic women?
So I had a dramatic ex.
I feel like every male friend of mine has had a dramatic ex that they cannot help but go back to. And I think, like, I'm curious as to what that
I don't know. Maybe it's a rite of passage. Like, you haven't really lived till you had that dramatic ex type of thing. But
so is it like women with bad boys and then men with dramatic women?
Maybe. Okay, so here's my take on it. I don't really think like there is dramatic women, but I don't always think it's completely the women. And I probably say that because I have a lot of female friends and because I've been that promiscuous type guy where I'm like, that could just be a really dirtbag dude to where this person just really likes you and they're being dramatic because they're reacting to their feelings type of thing. I don't think girls should go around feeling like everything is on them. Like, yeah, sometimes you need to just kind of calm down, even though we're not supposed to be saying that. But, just calm down and think about it for a second, because half the time dudes aren't thinking about what we're saying before it comes out of our mouth. Just give us a chance to rephrase it before you jump down our throats. If the rephrase still sucks, then go in,
Yeah.
go ham. But nah, the dramatic ones, they're just fun. They're fun. Like short answer, they're fun. They usually get into the clubs a lot easier. They just usually stick out. They're the ones rocking your Forever 21 dress with the heels and things like that. Like, yeah, let's go.
Classic.
Like, we're going out. Yeah,
those
right?
dresses are like $5.99 too.
Man, and they only last that kind of one night because you get a drink on them and that's it. Like the strap is going to be gone. That's just it. It's the Forever 21 girl. But
that's amazing. But that does make sense. Is like sometimes you're just pushed to that level.
Yeah.
And nobody's aware of what the actual dynamic of the relationship is.
Yeah, and so it's like
and that can go both ways.
My dramatic one was during all the drinking days and stuff like that. So it's like, yeah, here's the party one.
Yeah. So it all kind of went hand in hand.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Why do a lot of guys seem to associate a long-term relationship with the end of all of their fun?
So I've actually talked to my girlfriend about this one a bit. And I think it's because it's kind of too much of a compromise, if that makes sense. I think there's this preconception of what a relationship is and like what the perfect girlfriend should be doing and what the perfect boyfriend should be doing. But there is no perfect boyfriend. There is no perfect girlfriend. And they kind of get in that mode like, okay, I can't do anything without my girlfriend being here type of thing. Or like there's some people, I know some guys that can't hang out with another girl without their girlfriend being present. We talk sometimes, after 10 o'clock every once in a while?
Mm-hmm.
It's like there's some dudes out there that cannot do that type of thing just because that's how their girlfriend is, or that's what they thought this is how it should be. But it kind of goes back to having that conversation at the beginning, like I did with Erica, and we were just like, if something's up, just let me know type of thing. Like, you want to know what's up? Like, she has the password to my phone, but she's never in my phone.
Yeah.
If she is, it's because she's playing Fallout and needs to know where to buy ballistic fiber type of thing.
Which is important.
Yeah, it was that was last night. Where's your phone? I need to know where ballistic fiber is. Tinker Tom don't have none.
True bonding can happen over some video games.
Exactly. 2 Xboxes in a 1-bedroom house. Like, what's up?
That's awesome. That's just bonding right there.
Get better in Destiny.
Yeah. And then the last one is, what do guys talk about when they're alone?
A lot of things, actually. I've talked to guy friends. Yeah, well, I guess I can't speak for every guy. I can speak for guys talking to me. And that could go back to that whole genuine peace type of thing, just people venting. But at least the guy friends that I have, it kind of runs the gambit. I think I'll have guys telling me about cheating on their wives. I got guys telling me about businesses they want to start. Guys saying, I don't know what to do because my wife's boring. Or like, hey, man, just like, I don't know what to do about work type of thing. Then there's like the occasional Ronda Rousey and Black China kind of thing. But, it's funny. It's not really about females as much as it used to be as I've gotten older. And I think that's because I kind of changed up some of the company that I keep. And then some of the company that I kept kind of changed with me, which is definitely cool. It's definitely cool when your friends kind of change with you. Like, I don't know if we still would have been friends right now if I was still a hardcore alcoholic. Like, if I was still partying in PP. Yeah. We might not be friends right now.
Maybe. Who knows?
There's a different road that I could have been on. But yeah, they usually come to me for like, what should I do for this? Or what should I do for this? Or I guess.
So what I'm getting out of this is that guys have conversations about real things.
Yeah.
And feelings too.
Yeah, about their relationships a lot.
Yeah. There's a preconception I think some women have that men do not have these kind of deeper conversations with each other.
Yeah. I think it's just because of the friends. Like, that's a big thing that I'm into, is not having all my friends completely combined type of thing. Erica's got her core group of friends. I have my core group of friends. Nobody really knows like 100% about Duane type of thing. Like, everybody kind of knows a little tidbit.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's important that you actually keep at least kind of one friend that's kind of out of it. That's always like team you. You always need the team you.
Yeah.
No matter what. Always team you.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense.
Don't have like, you kind of need your own life. You need somebody in your corner all the time, even to tell you like, yeah, I'm in your corner, but you're wrong type of thing. You know, like, yeah,
Yeah,
you're
but you
super
have to.
wrong, but
It
I'm
gives you
here.
that freedom to be able to say whatever you need to say without the fear of it immediately
Right. But,
being directly in that tiny little inner circle.
exactly. And that's what happens to where I've noticed a lot of relationships is that, they start hanging out with people that are in other relationships and they kind of have that same little bubble to where everybody's hanging out with everybody and everybody kind of knows everybody's business type of thing. But
Yeah.
it's like when something happens in that group, what are you going to do now?
Where do you go?
Yeah, right.
Where are you going to find perspective?
Where are you going to find perspective? Right. You're going to find it in the new girl that just started work that's wearing a deep V. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
she's slightly different and she actually listens to what's going on because that's always how it starts.
Isn't that the problem?
That's always how it starts.
But she really listens to me.
And it's funny because that's never, it always starts like that. It's always super innocent. Like dudes, I would say the majority of dudes probably don't go into it like, yeah, I'm about to cheat on my girl. Something's going on.
Yeah. They're missing something.
Right. They're missing something and somebody's providing that missing piece.
Yep.
And I think what happens is that they don't realize that the person's going out to get that piece or that they're missing that piece or their partner's not talking to them saying, yo, this is the piece that I really need. So it's like, I really can't meet anybody 100%. Just tell me what 80% you want me to hit type of thing. Like, I'm just like, I will be dead honest. Like I'm a human being and I cannot be 100% best boyfriend in the world.
Yeah.
Let me hit 80.
I think that's pretty healthy.
Right? Like, you know what I mean? Like, let me hit 80.
That's very healthy.
Exactly.
If we could all hit 80.
Right? It was like, I respect your rights. I respect everything like that. I'm definitely not a sexist. I've probably said some very sexist things, but I'm definitely not a sexist. Like, I'm pro almost everything. I'm down for people doing whatever. I'm from the Bay. Like, we're free. Like, we're from the Bay. Like, we're all hippies. We're all ghetto hippies.
Like that combo.
Well, because Berkeley's up there, so you got freaking the legend of Jimi Hendrix and freaking Santana and Journey and Tupac and Digital Underground. It's like there's a lot of culture coming from up there. It's like everybody loves everybody type of thing until you don't. It's like that's just kind of how it goes.
You love them 80%.
Yeah, you love them. You love them 80%. I like to be 80% good and 20% hood. That's pretty much.
You need to put that on a shirt. Quick.
Right? Seriously, that needs to get trademarked.
I know.
Your shirt. That could just be the title for your show. Just 80% serious, 20% hood. We're all human with Courtney Diamond, 20% hood.
I love it.
That would be the best. I'm going to have to get on that.
I love it. Do it. You're full of good words.
I try.
Thank you for coming through. I appreciate it.
Oh, of course. Anytime.
That's it for this week, you guys. Thanks for listening, and make sure to subscribe and leave a nice rating if you get the chance. I'd really appreciate it. Find me at Courtney Diamond on the socials and at CourtneyDiamond.com if you want to read some of my writings. And with that, I'm out of here. Have a great day, and I'll talk to you guys soon.